Hey, sorry guys about that. My video ended when I turned off the screen, so I wanted to go back live so I could talk to you a little bit about what some of the things I've learned and tell you a little bit about tapping. So I'm going to wait just a few seconds here till the people that were on there can come back because it apparently shut everybody out. Sorry about that, Barbara. When I turned off the screen, it turned off the whole thing. So, oh, good, you guys are back. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the tapping. So I don't know if you're familiar with what tapping is, but a lot of tapping is kind of teaching yourself a mental way to deal with things, to make good associations. So when tapping is done, if you've ever seen it done, and I'm going to see if I can get an expert in here because we do actually have an expert in our group on tapping. So I don't want to go into that too much today because hopefully she's going to join us next week and be able to show us how tapping works. But tapping usually works with you tapping in those positions that I told you before. So you pick one of those positions, you tap, and while you're tapping, you tell yourself something. So you can tell yourself, I am going to try really hard to lose weight. I'm going to resist temptations to reach for sugary things. Or I am going to, or I recognize that these things have, been a problem in my past, and I'm going to get through that. And like I said, I want to make sure that these things are done by a professional. And so I'm going to get her to come onto our group and discuss that. Now, what I do want to talk about is the stuff that I know about, like with the oils. So we've discussed before about certain oils that really help with weight loss, especially. You can also use oils for weight gain, but since most people seem to struggle with weight loss, that's the one we're going to address today more. And some of the things we've discussed before, we all know about Slim and Sassy, putting Slim and Sassy in our water. I will tell you some of the things I've learned recently about like cinnamon oil. So cinnamon oil is a really good one for people like Barbara who crave those sweets. So if you are a sweets craver, it's interesting. I stopped putting honey in my tea in the morning, and now I just use the cinnamon. So I put a drop of cinnamon oil. So very inexpensive because it's only one drop. One drop of cinnamon oil in my cup of tea tastes very, very sweet to me. And that makes it so I don't even need to use the honey anymore to get that sweetness. So think about adding something like cinnamon to your things to give it that sweetness without adding the sugars, because that's what we're trying to do, avoid a lot of the excess sugars. Not that sugar's bad, you can have some sugar, but sugar does send your body in this cycle. And sugars a lot of times are going to take the form of bread products and things like that, which we know will really kind of pack on the pounds. So if you're trying to lose weight, you need to have your oils kind of get them out and get them ready so that you can help your body not to crave everything. So when you're craving something, let's say I decide all of a sudden I crave sugar, I'm going to reach out for my cinnamon, and I may not need to take it. I just open my cinnamon bottle and, okay, I don't need anything sweet. Now that has satisfied my brain, and hopefully I won't need too strong to put in your water. No, just put a drop in your water bottle. It's not too strong for your water. I actually get it sometimes on my lips, and it's okay. It doesn't, actually, I just did again. It is strong. Wow. But it is so good. Anyway, yeah, because it's all over the outside of my bottle, and I just touched it. So, yeah, just put a drop in a water bottle, or even 2 drops, maybe, as much as you can tolerate. It gives you that sweetness feeling. So because your brain is telling your body or your body's telling your brain, your brain's perceiving that you need sweets, but you don't necessarily need sweets. Your brain is just perceiving a signal and telling your body, oh, I need sweets. And then just telling your brain, okay, I need sweets. So what do? You go to the kitchen, you go find your sweets. But there are a lot of things that you can eat instead that will serve that same purpose and give your body that energy so that it doesn't need the sweets. And you want to reach for those first. So maybe it'd be better for you to go out into the kitchen and reach for something that isn't a sweet and see if that changes the way your body feels. So you say to yourself and say, okay, I don't necessarily need sweet. Okay, my body's craving sweet. So first I'm gonna try my cinnamon. Let's see. Did that make that feeling go away? Give it a minute, because it does take a minute. So smell your cinnamon, taste your cinnamon. See, the cinnamon oil tastes so sweet to me. It's unbelievable. It's so good. Anyway, you try doing that and see if that gets that craving to go away. And then if your body's needing energy, your body's telling you, I need energy. And we perceive that a lot of times as I need sugar, or I need bread, or I need carbs, right? Because we think we need to get energy from those sources, and we don't necessarily need to. So we're going to stave off those feelings by reaching for one of our oils. And cinnamon just has to be one of the good choice. On Guard might be a good choice. Even sometimes if your cravings are more hormonal related, reach for your balance. And just sit there in the moment. De-stress when you do this, guys. You know, really inhale your oils so that you can really de-stress and get rid of those cravings, because cravings pass. And so it doesn't matter, you know, if you address those cravings right away, which is going to make you gain weight, or if you can wait a little bit and then realize that, hey, I didn't need that, and reach for your more. Because if we could eat just on a conscious level, if we could eat just because we know we need those nutrients, and we ate only because of that reason, we would be fine, because we would only eat food as necessary. But we don't. We eat for so many reasons. We eat when we're stressed. We eat when we're sad. We eat when we're bored. I mean, you know, we eat at specific events. I mean, how many people, we go to the movies and you're bored at a movie, or, you know, you're watching the movie and we just associate, hey, I'm at the movies, I need popcorn. Of course I do. I'm at the movies. That's when you need popcorn. And that's just kind of something, you know, culturally we've been brought up with, and it has always comforted us. It's something that it's kind of like a tradition, right? That would be a tradition. This is what we do as a tradition. So maybe that isn't a good choice to do that, or start looking at alternatives, like learn to like some other things that may not be perfect. I mean, yes, if I could have everything my way, I'd probably eat chocolate cake every day, because chocolate cake is really good. And I have to, you know, mentally tell myself, this is not a good thing. It's not like I can never have chocolate cake again. But if I'm going to eat, you know, if I'm going to eat chocolate cake, it needs to be very infrequently. Otherwise, I'm going to gain weight, and that's going to make me feel worse overall. And it's a process, guys. This has to be habits and a process. So you need to be able to just tell yourself that and not just reach for things. I have another trick too that's really cool. If you take plain unbuttered popcorn and you put nutritional yeast flakes in that popcorn and shake it up, it tastes like cheesy popcorn. So it gives it flavor without giving it a whole bunch of calories. So that's a really great way to, and I still think, you know, popcorn, it's corn, right? So to me, it's a vegetable. So I lump it in my vegetable category. So you can do that. It is popcorn, right? It is corn. So that's one of your vegetables. So keeping in mind that, you know, just trying to scale back your eating. One of the other tricks that we've learned over time is take an extra moment, and when you prepare your dinner, put some parsley flakes around the edge of your plate. And then when you serve yourself your food, serve yourself smaller portions. Your brain will perceive those parsley flakes around the edge, makes it perceive like you're having a larger meal, right? But you aren't having a larger meal, you're having a smaller meal. And so a lot of times it's just tricking our brain, guys. A lot of it is, it's up here. So those are some of the tips. Is any of you guys here on the chat, do you have any tips that you have found really help you resist like an instant craving, or resist something you know you probably shouldn't be eating as often as you are, or something that has worked for you with the essential oils? Have you guys tried any of these to see how they're working for you? Because I'd love to hear that in the chat. And also while you guys are chatting in and letting me know, I just want to remind you that grapefruit oil is a really good one to, again, for these sugar cravings, so sugar bread type of cravings. And generally that would be diffused. So you diffuse that grapefruit oil. And I know I've told you before, and I don't know how many people are actually doing this, but if you're having trouble with snacking or feeling like you are hungry, go ahead and just start diffusing your grapefruit oil during those times of the day that you feel like that. So, you know, get up and have something in the morning, you know, oatmeal, cottage cheese are good choices, or if you're doing a smoothie or something like that. And then, you know, diffuse your grapefruit so you don't, you know, crave a really large mid-morning snack, so that you can have just a little something, you know, piece of fruit, or, you know, an egg or something like that for your mid-morning snack. And then you can have a sensible lunch. And again, you know, afternoons are really hard, and some people spend their whole afternoon just snacking, or they wait too long and then they crave something heavier, and so you eat more. So if you wait too long between your meals, it will make you want to eat more, at least think you want to eat more. And then the other mental thing that we kind of have to get over is the feeling that because we put it on our plate, we need to finish it. And this is something that I understand why it happens. It's been ingrained in us since we were children, since the first time my mom said, finish what's on your plate, there are starving children in China. So that's what she used to tell me. And there's a point in my life where I said, okay, get an envelope and we can send it because I got so frustrated because she kept telling me that there were these starving people in China and I could not finish my food. But we grew up that way. And my dad gained a lot of weight because he would finish what was on our plate because he didn't want to be wasteful. But in the long run, it's better to be wasteful and keep your weight so that you are healthy, because the most important thing is that you are healthy. That's what our goal is, right? So don't be afraid to leave things on your plate and even practice this. So I'm going to challenge you guys this week. Do this. Make yourself a meal. Put something around the edge, something colorful, like parsley flakes is a good one, or some little leaves or whatever around the edge of your plate so that your meal seems bigger to your brain, and try to take smaller portions. And then try this. Try leaving one bite of each of your portions. So if you have a meat and a vegetable and potatoes or some pasta or something, leave one bite on your plate and don't eat it. Just leave it there, throw it away, give it to the dogs or whatever, but just don't eat it. Challenge yourself to do that more often, and that will make it easier for you to not to have this innate feeling that we seem to have, right? That we have to finish everything. So hopefully next week I can get a professional tapping expert in here because I want them to explain exactly what tapping is so that we can deal with some of those issues. But I wanted to give you some tools in the meantime. And so hopefully with that challenge, that will make it easier for you to eat a little bit less and, you know, hopefully exercising more, and then recognizing that as you get older, yeah, the hormones are going to make it harder and harder, and we're going to have to slowly scale down our portions. And it does seem unfair. It seems like sometimes we just can't lose that weight, but we just need to find something different to do. And us as a group, we're a team. And so we all want to help each other. I know that Bonnie has lost a phenomenal amount of weight. I am so proud of her. She has worked really hard, and I'm sure she's, applied a lot of different tricks and a lot of sheer willpower, because it does take willpower when you're trying to lose weight. And then trying to figure out why are you gaining weight in the first place. And the plain simple fact is, as we get older, our metabolism is different. We do tend to hold on to weight more, women around the middle especially, where this is where we don't want it, right? Too bad it doesn't go in our rear ends, because nowadays that's totally cool to have a really big rear end. So I wish that's where it went, but it doesn't. It tends to go around our middle as we get older. And so we look for ways to prevent that from happening and to lose the weight that we've already gained. So that's something we're going to do as a team, guys. Okay, so we're all going to work on it. Everybody who wants to work on it, I want to work on it. I mean, you look at me and you think, yeah, I'm not overweight, but I have extra weight around my middle. I could, if I lost a few pounds, I think I'd look a lot better, and that would make me more comfortable. And anything I can do to not put that extra strain on my joints and my body as I'm aging would definitely, serve me very well going forward in the future. So we're all going to work on this challenge together, okay? So hopefully some of these tips have been helpful. Make sure to comment in as much as you want. I got to scroll down so you can see what you said. And yes, drink lots of water. So Karina's correct. Make sure you're drinking, enough, half your body weight in water is about what you want to drink water-wise. And one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is you're drinking milk and juice. These are not really healthy for us. If you want to drink juice, eat the fruit with the pulp, with the fiber. That's what you need. You don't want just simple juice, because you're getting a lot of those sugars, and it's just going to help you gain weight. You want to learn to use just water. Make your water flavorful. That's why we use the essential oils. Let's make our water taste like something tasty so that we enjoy our water, because some people don't. But I've gotten used to drinking just water, no soda, no milk, and no juice, because those things are going to pack on pounds, because there's a lot of calories in those things. And Bonnie's right. Yes, smaller plates. Again, you're tricking your brain. A lot of this is just really tricking our brains, because our brains are telling us what to do. They're telling us that we crave this. They're telling us, I crave that cake. Our brain is telling us that. It remembers how tasty that was on our tongue, unfortunately. So chocolate cake, yeah, very, very tasty on the tongue. But our brain it's telling us that too. So we need to resist that. Let's see. Yeah, wild orange or lemon sassy and water we discussed, and cinnamon if you want, or you can add some other flavors too if you want to just add something new, fun. Walking is great. So I've done a lot of amazing walking lately that I have not done before. And For those of you who know me, you know I play Pokemon Go, and that I do that because it makes me walk. It really does. So I go to the park and I take walks, whereas normally just taking a walk I find a little bit boring. I need to be doing something. So if you walk with a buddy that you can talk to, that's great. But if you don't, then maybe you find something that you can do while you're walking. And a lot of people like to listen to music. I mean, maybe that's a great chance to just lose yourself in your music. And the de-stressing helps you too. So not only are you working off the weight because you're walking, but you're de-stressing because you're listening to music, or you're enjoying nature, or you're getting outside in the fresh air. So yes, Bonnie, you lost another person. I'm so proud of you for losing a person, because we like the person you are, and we want you to keep that person and get rid of all the extra people, right? So yes, she is definitely an inspiration, you know, and Bonnie has worked really hard to do this. And so she knows the struggles going through these. She knows that, you know, the willpower and the tricks, you know, any tricks that you can find, ways to trick your brain, ways to, not blame yourself for the fact that you've gained weight in the first place, because you know it isn't really our fault. I mean, you know, I guess you could argue it is our fault because we gained weight, but it sneaks on, doesn't it? We know, Karina knows, I know, it sneaks up on you. You wonder, you know, gained a couple pounds, like, oh, okay, no big deal. Then a couple more pounds comes, like, what's going on? I don't think I'm eating any different. I don't think I'm doing anything different. And it may just be that you've been under a lot of stress, and so the hormones are different, and so your body reacts differently, or you may not be drinking enough water, or you know, whatever. I always feel like if I eat one big meal, I'm going to ruin everything, and that's, you know, that's not true. You can have a big meal once in a while. You can have a piece of cake once in a while. This isn't a forever thing, but you do want to make some of these small changes, your daily changes, the daily changes, using a smaller plate, making it look like you're eating more than you're eating, being willing to leave some food on the plate, and recognizing that you don't need to finish everything just because it's there. I mean, that right there is a really hard thing to overcome. It really is, because we don't like to waste things. We've been taught not to waste things. And so I think these are just wonderful tips. I hope that you guys will, you know, really take this to heart and work on your own personal goals and set yourself some realistic goals. I'm sure that Bonnie did not start out and say, okay, I want to lose 300 pounds. She probably did start out saying that, but she's taking this step by step and recognizing that every time you lose a pound, you've made an achievement. You've achieved something. So set yourself some small goals first without just looking at the big goal, because that big goal might be really far off and you want to reward yourself along the way. Yeah, Bonnie, you don't have time to go to the gym, do you? But she's out there on the farm. So, you know, that fresh air and stuff like that does wonders for her, I'm sure. But she's a very, very busy person. So it doesn't have to be the gym. I mean, it's, you know, it's just habits and things that you do. So we do tend to sit a lot, and, you know, a lot of it is our job. We work at a place where we sit. And so we have to recognize that if we're going to be sitting a lot because of our work, then we need to also balance that with time spent outside, walking, you know, getting out and doing things. It doesn't need to be the gym. It doesn't need to be hardcore exercises. You certainly probably don't want to start there. But it just needs to be intelligent eating choices, getting chemicals out of your food, chemicals out of your life, because those toxic chemicals, of course, also help with weight gain. And a lot of people have problems with that as well. And some light exercises. And you know what I do at night now? So I know that I'm trying to lose weight around my middle. I'm also trying to tone my body a bit. So what I do is when I'm at night, when I'm getting ready to sit down and watch TV, instead of sitting down and watching TV right away, I actually spend about 15, 20 minutes watching TV, but doing my exercises at the same time. So I'm doing my, you know, side bends. I'm doing my twists a little bit, because, you know, just twisting your middle will help with the different muscles and stuff like that. I've got some light weights. I'll just do some light weightlifting, but I'm doing this while I'm watching TV. And so I set myself small goals to make it easier for me. And what I say is, okay, I'm going to start this TV show, and I'm going to do these exercises on my middle for the first, you know, part of the show until the first main commercial. That's usually about 12 minutes into a show. So, and then I say at that first commercial, then I get a drink of water. And then, so my next set is going to be doing some light weightlifting or something like that for my next set, and then doing my push-ups or something like that, right? So set yourself some realistic goals, but make it so that it's something you'll actually do. Because if you just say, I need to work out, a lot of times people aren't going to do it. Try to put it with an activity you already do. So if you do tend to sit down and watch TV at night, add your exercises in with that. You could be exercising like right now. You could be exercising while you're watching me. You can be doing these right here while you're watching me. Let's do our exercises so we can just get a little bit of exercising done. Because if you make this a regular thing and you tie it to something that you're already doing, it becomes a habit. And once you've established those habits, it's going to be so much easier. And I think a lot of people will argue that that is much more fun than trying to find time in your very busy schedules to get out to the gym, right? So yes, Catherine, I mean, if you're sitting there in a chair right now, you could be doing leg lifts right now. You're in a chair, do some leg lifts. Just sit there and lift your legs. It doesn't take much thought, so you can just get used to doing it. You'll find the more you do it, the easier it is to do. I'm doing leg lifts right now. See, I'm talking to you. You don't even know. I'm doing leg lifts right now. I'm just lifting up my leg, working those leg muscles, getting my hips doing better. That is all going to be better for us in the long run. So find times that you can do it. You can do it in the car. You can do some things while you're driving. You know, when you're doing the butt crunches when you're driving, you know, you're just kind of bouncing up and down in the seat. That's an exercise. These are all exercises. They may not seem like they're doing anything, but they are. Anytime you contract your muscles and stuff like that, it's doing something. So that's how easy exercising can be. And then the other battle is, of course, making sure that your eating habits are commensurate with your exercise habits. So the more you exercise, obviously, the more you can eat. That's excellent. But learning that you don't need to eat such large portions. A lot of times we think we need to eat and eat and eat, and we don't. And because we're so busy, what do? We eat fast. Big mistake. Eat fast, you will eat too much. Slow down your eating and you will find that you get relatively full before the end of the meal, and you don't want to feel full because that's not a comfortable feeling. You just want to feel satiated. So that's where we want to get. Okay, so we'll discuss this a little bit more next week. And I'm still learning more about this and learning some more tips and tricks, and I'll learn some more of the oils that we can use besides the basics that we've discovered right now, things that we've talked about. And feel free to reach out to me whenever you want to. And you guys, I see the people that are here, you guys are all kind of future leaders with doTERRA, so I guess I'll see you next Wednesday. And just have a really great weekend. Do something fun, guys. Get out. It's summer. Enjoy the rest of summer because winter will be here before we know it. So get out there and try to do something. Go out in the morning or the evening. Take a nice long walk, or do some activity. Do some jumping jacks in front of the TV. Do some butt crunches. There you go, Bonnie. Do those butt crunches. That's what we all want, a good butt, right? And butt crunches so easy. Do this while you're driving. So I'm challenging you guys. Okay, next week you are going to tell me, when we have our builders meeting, I want you guys to tell me which exercises you did and where you did them. So let's find out, where we can add those in. Just do one at a time, make it a habit, and then go on to another one. Same thing when you're getting rid of things in your diet. If you're going to get rid of something, my first suggestion would be soda, because it just has so many negative effects. Get rid of your sodas, replace it with water, and make your water taste good. That's what the essential oils are for. Make it taste good. And if you want it to look good too, put some little petals in here. You can put little lavender petals inside your water too. And drink around those if you want to, or eat them. Lavender petals are great. So, just a lot of things that you can do that'll maybe entice you to do things a little bit differently. So I challenge everybody to work hard on this and let me know how it went next week, okay? Talk to you guys later. Thanks for coming. Bye.